Hello everyone, I'm John Higgins. This is PNG Tonight. Coming up, a flashback on the new Hela province with the promise to light up Papua New Guinea with its rich gas resource and how it is today dogged by leadership struggle. The chief censor warns of how pornography threatens to destroy everything that is unique about Papua New Guinea. And here is the real worry: it is more addictive than marijuana. A leadership struggle in the new resource-rich province of Hela has apparently cast a shadow over its future development endeavors. The top provincial political post of governor is at the center of a tussle between the incumbent, Anderson Agiru, and challenger, Francis Potape. The matter is before the courts, and we have a report on the court proceedings. But before we get to that, here is a flashback on how Hela became a province in 2010. It was the dawn of the new Hela province, a momentous occasion for the last frontier in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. This dawn had been yawned by the Hela for nearly 3.5 decades. The final realization of that at Tari Station, the new provincial headquarters had all the attributes of a fired-up province determined to maximize benefits from the gas, mineral, and petroleum resources, and at the same time embrace the inevitable challenges which are often associated with change and progress. The road to attaining provincial status had been long, yet Hela was patient and at the same time persistent. Geographically, Hela is at the center of the mainland of Papua New Guinea. It is surrounded by the Mula and Kairos mountain ranges to the south and the Central Range to the north. The first patrol officers to enter this part of the world were Jack Heights and Jim O'Malley in 1935. They entered from the Western Province with about 30 carriers, including a detachment of what was then the Armed Native Constabulary. The Hela region is the last Papua of the western end of the Southern Highlands Province. The land area covers Koroba Kopiago, Taripori, and Como Magarima. At the time of first contact with outside explorers, the Hela people numbered about 150,000. That figure is, of course, more than double today. The Hela are hardworking. They don't indulge in unproductive activity, much to the liking of plantation owners in other parts of the country who took them on as laborers. The people are known as fearless warriors who know no pain or surrender when it comes to tribal wars. They also live an artistic life, taking pride in the way they dress. The intricate and articulate details in the huli face paint and wigs are today's postcard of Papua New Guinea. This is Tari Airstrip in 1957. Over time, Hela felt isolated and neglected. Mendi was too far and out of reach. The people resented being at the back end of government services. This led to quiet meetings for a separate province. These sentiments were made known to Papua New Guinea by an interpreter and carrier seen here during patrols into Hela. Andrew Waibiria, young, energetic, and inquisitive, Waibiria was one of a few to see beyond the Tari Basin. Later, as member for Koroba, Waibiria told the Second House of Assembly in September 1974 that due to the large size of the Southern Highlands resulting in the lack of services towards the western end, a new district should be established for the people of Huli, Duna and Hewa. The momentum for a separate Hela province picks up again. In July 2007, the political support in Parliament was put to the test, but it fell short of the absolute majority. Then, in March 2009, Hela, together with Jawaka, eventually received parliamentary approval to become separate provinces. And in March of 2010, the passage of the Hela Transition Authority. The Hela people came in their thousands to witness the installment of the Transition Authority, and more importantly, see the Grand Chief, Sir Michael Samare, the Prime Minister who had promised and whose government later ensured that Hela attained provincial status.
Time Andrew Wabiria Tok Hela Province, even Nogat Heights gas field, even Nogat Kutubu oil fields, even Nogat Mount Kare. Quest now me like give me fighting big hand long all founding leaders who said get wisdom long talk. Hela province must come.
Now I'm time blow Sanabi my house man blow Hela. Now online blow you mean on Nikini Islands blow Atolls blow Hamas 1,000 Island is time. Only Karim Diwai one time Haman or Soul or come Halim Hela. Time blow before. Oil gas in start. Hela you got him Kago, Cobra, oil palm, Tina coffee finish. Now the place blow you. You like come up with some Kago again that trauma story go come. Every no person blow Hela.
The Prime Minister eventually spoke to the Hela people, paying tribute to those who had worked tirelessly to realize this day. Sir Michael told them Hela is now at the threshold of a brighter future with oil and gas lighting up the new province.
Me believe, na me sabe, by 2012, you got Nupla province, but you can call him Hela province below you.
In the new province of Hela, a number of open members of parliament used powers of the provincial assembly to assume the governor's post. We saw examples of this with Belden Nama in Sundown and David Arore in Northern last year. Nearly 2 months ago, we saw Francis Potape trying to oust Anderson Agiru. The courts have, however, reinstated Agiru, awaiting a proper hearing of the matter next month. Maivo Lafanama has been following that story.
Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say no.
Now changing with better rule. Onward.
Order, order!
Moves by open members of parliament and local level government presidents to take over the governor's post is not new in the country. It has happened in the past. While there may be loopholes in laws that needs fixing, similar situations are likely to occur in the future. Recently, the battle for Hela's top post made media headlines.
Challenge you come. Thank you longer. Okay.
It's before the courts now, but briefly we look at how it started and reasons behind it. With advice from the provincial and local level government affairs, a successful vote of no confidence was taken out by the Hela Provincial Assembly against Governor Anderson Agiru last month. Komo Magarima MP Francis Potape was voted in by a 2/3 majority or 10 out of the 14 members, despite a national court order preventing the meeting. Potape claimed Agiru, who had been sick and receiving treatment overseas, had not performed his mandated duties and there was a need to change him. Notable among the 13 issues raised by Potape was long absences from the province and lack of assembly meetings. An aggrieved Agiru took the matter to court and raised important legal issues that was accepted by the presiding judge a week ago. Agiru was reappointed as governor.
We raised the serious issues in relation to the purported meetings of the 22nd and 29th of December 2015. So those issues are subject to substantive hearing on the in February, late February. So we'll deal with those issues. But all it is now is the status quo has been preserved, is reverted back to what it was then.
Thank you, supporters. Thank you, people throughout Papua New Guinea, Christians who prayed while I was in hospital, as well as trying to find my feet to go back to Hela.
But the Komomagarima MP was unhappy and mounted an appeal at the Supreme Court.
Because of this decision, we will seek an urgent application to set aside this order.
The result went against him. Presiding Judge Bennett Sakora, sitting as a single Supreme Court judge, ruled the appeal was unnecessary, not useful, and an abuse of process.
The governor will be in this afternoon, I think.
Bennett stressed the interest of the people of Hela must be considered first, and the Supreme Court will not intervene as the case might drag on. He said leadership stability is needed in all provinces across the country, but Hela needs it most with the current situation. The court will have the last say, as Justice Sakora puts it. The issue is to establish whether the vote of no confidence was legal or not. The matter now awaits a proper hearing on February 19th.
That report from Maivo Lafanama. Stay with us after the break. Concerns from the chief censor over pornographic materials.